Welcome to Landria, Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an awesome life. Let's have a little swig of coffee here. Morning. So this is Memorial Day of 2018. So I want to have a little word with you about a couple of things. First of all, we go through energy shifts and you will pick up on stuff that isn't necessarily yours, but of course it is because we're one energy, but it isn't your maybe individual actions or thoughts that are happening. And sometimes we pick up at things and we'll feel very sad. We'll have a day when we're very, very sad. I'm going to talk about this and just about everything that you feel, including fear, because you know this whole channel is about breaking through fear. And one of the keys to really dealing with negativity, anxiety, depression, fear, all of these negative feelings, how do you deal with that, even if you feel that it's not yours? And I have that every once in a while. I'll think, what is this? Do you remember the morning my, cat killed a chipmunk and I cried because I was like, why do we have to keep experiencing this stuff? I know it's nature, but, why does it have to work that way? Because, we all question things. The experience and all that stuff. But, I have a little chippy that I had to, put in a little towel, and then I had a burial for him, sent him off to the light. He was already in the light. You have those days when life just doesn't make sense. And it could be something really simple. And you find yourself being really emotional, more emotional than maybe you normally would. And you don't always know why. So here's my suggestion to you. This works for me. I feel that it's worked for the people that I've counseled. And that is to always be the observer. And that is when you're pulling away from your ego wants things to be a certain way. Your ego is the density that wants things to not be sad, wants other people to act a certain way, wants the world to be perfect, and doesn't really understand that the world is perfect. It is working through its experiences, its journey as individual expressions of the one energy to become something really incredible that it couldn't experience on the other side, and then go back to that light again. But we don't want any of that. The ego wants everything to be right, and you need to believe this, and you need to think this, and you shouldn't say this, or we're so busy trying to be control freaks over everything. So when things come in, we're always trying to control it, even our feelings. It's, I don't want to feel this, you want to battle it, right? And that's the ego not wanting to experience anything negative. And so it battles it, which in turn actually creates the negativity. It actually fuels it. Why? Because you're focused on it. You're focused on the negative thing and not wanting it. When you go into an observer position, when you observe everything and you don't stop feeling it, it loses its power. It actually loses the power. And then you actually hear yourself talking about something that's really so irrelevant. It's just stupid stuff. We all do it. You're thinking, is this really important in the big picture? So you may be picking up on energy on the planet and all these other things that you can't explain, or just not eating right and your blood sugar dropped in the morning. There's some of that going on too. There's so many factors. You don't have to have that answer. Just have to be your best and eat right and sleep and don't drink too much, or any other habits you have that are going to mess around with your body, pollute your body, is going to cloud your ability to connect to your spiritual self and realm. But when these feelings and thoughts come in, no matter what the source is, whether they're yours, truly yours or not, when you go into an observer position and you're not thinking about the thought, the issue, the situation, you're just watching it, it almost becomes entertaining. So if I have any like strange feelings that come in, I actually go, okay, wait. Instead of going, ooh, I don't like that, I sit and I go, what is that? And I actually go into it. I know that's not what most people want to do because they think it's going to be worse, but that's not true. You know, if you're fighting it, you're already putting the negative attention on it. So when you sit in something, you sit in it and you look at it, you'll have a tendency to not think about it because you're looking at it. When you're in it, you're the thinker. Oh, I don't like this and that, and I need to do this, and they shouldn't do this, and somebody needs to give me this, and blah, 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 right? That's the ego is going, whoa, in the fear. They're best friends, fear and ego. When you pull back and you watch it and you hear this conversation going on, it's like, what is that? I mean, on my deathbed, is this stuff even important? Probably not. No, actually not. Everything's exactly the way it should be. And it's not always easy to accept that. You came here to experience certain things, but don't fight that because that's part of being the human that sits in those feelings in the density of which we're not used to. We're not used to being dense beings. We don't come from that. We're unlimited beings. You are unlimited. When you come in a dense body, you agreed to live on the earth terms, and that is to experience being a dense being. That's why when you astral project or go, have out-of-body experiences, you're just detaching from the density of this and really going into the realms of which you originate from. And then you come back into the body and you play by the human rules. You can't walk through a wall. You can walk through a wall, but as a dense body, it's not going to work. That's not how the rules of the planet work. We have to have those because we're supposed to focus on our human experience here. We're supposed to be learning. We're supposed to go through the trials and tribulations, sharing the energy. And when we all raise the frequency, none of that residual energy that you pick up on, it's not going to be there anymore. In fact, you'll get waves of happiness for no reason because the world is going to be resonating on such a high frequency, and then we will all have learned our lessons and probably not even really need to be in bodies anymore, right? But we're not there yet. And that's part of your mission, all of ours. We came on this planet to raise that frequency, to create something really beautiful because we are that. And we've been in the density for so long, we don't need to suffer anymore. So when you feel anything, whether it's a real situation or one that you don't even know what you're picking up on, just sit with it and say, first of all, this too shall pass. And then second of all, what is this? It's just energy. It's just energy. It only becomes powerful when I attach a negative thought to it. What if I attached a positive thought to it and said, wow, this is part of being human. I'm gonna feel this. I'm just sit and feel this. This is something I will not feel when I go to the other side. This is something I don't get to experience. I'm gonna experience being human. And it's very uncomfortable, but you know what? I'm not gonna get to be in this body, in this situation, exactly like this ever again. Unless you choose it in some other dimension. We're not even going to go into that. I don't have those answers. And I'm not going to dictate that I do. I just know that quantum physics is real. And that's why I quote it a lot. I know that you are unlimited because the power of the universe is. I also know that you have a choice in every moment of how you think and feel and react. You have 100% free will on this planet. You get to use it at every moment. And if you don't want to feel bad, if you don't want to feel negative, you don't have to. So when you look at that situation, instead of believing that it has some kind of power over you, know that that is you. That is your residual energy and all the stuff that just isn't really who you choose to be anymore. So you look at it and say, I don't want to choose those thoughts anymore because they're not real unless I make them real. I don't have to live in fear. I don't have to be afraid of the things I'm experiencing. I can sit with it and be okay with it, and maybe not feel really good. It's okay. You may feel some uncomfortableness and some really negative feelings. But when you go into it and observe it and understand that this is just an experience, this is a journey, one of the many you've been on, many you've been on, you can change this path anytime you want. And it starts with not being entrenched in the suffering or believing the fear or the ego or wanting things to be different than it is, because it will change as soon as you accept and learn from that situation you're in. And residual energy that you're feeling is just part of our shared energy of this planet. Don't try to analyze it, try and figure it out. Just say, you know what? Maybe today's one of those days. I had a friend, she felt the same way. A few days later, she said, I'm just so down and depressed. I said, well, I wasn't down and depressed, but a couple days earlier, I was just very emotional, just really not feeling like I wanted to be on this planet for no reason at all. Everything's going fabulous for me. So it doesn't always have to be triggered by an incident or anything else. Just know that there's just so much to energy that we don't understand as human beings. But we are part of the collective, and the collective is experiencing a lot of things at all times, in every time, past and future, in every situation. It's all there. So don't try and figure it out. Go with it. Choose higher thoughts. Sit with it. Observe it, and don't allow it to control you. You are it. You're in control. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Namaste.